here at Tamales Bay. The weather looks pretty good. The water is nice and calm. Today I brought some frozen anchovies and some cured ghost shrimp. We're gonna try casting out this jerk bait first. We're gonna do this for maybe about an hour or two. How about for like 20 minutes we'll fish this guy, and then after 20 minutes, if I get no bites with this, I'll switch it to a different lure, and I'll basically just be casting out lures for 2 hours. And after that, if I don't get any bites with lures, then we'll do some of the frozen anchovy and cured ghost shrimp. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this rig off. I'm gonna switch it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out about, give or take 3 feet right there. And we're gonna tie this, I think it's either a 1 ounce or a 2 ounce sinker to the bottom of this. So the sinker is gonna be at the bottom. This end here is gonna be tied to this swivel over here on the main line. And then we're gonna put the hook somewhere in the middle. So that way, when I'm reeling it in, the lure isn't getting caught on a lot of grass on the way back. And hopefully it catches the eye of anything that's out there. Let's put the hook on first, and then we'll put the sinker on at the end. So for the hook, especially with swim baits, and especially in areas that there's a lot of like seaweed and stuff that you can get snagged on easily, I prefer sort of like what lake bass fishermen use, a hook like this. Let's see what kind of hook it is. It's an offset shank worm, EWG, whatever that is. But it's an offset hook. These are easier to hide inside of the lure, at least this little pointy part that gets stuck in a lot of stuff. And when it's inside the lure, it'll just be able to slip through a whole bunch of weeds and sticks. Nothing will get caught on the lure, and the presentation of the lure should look pretty good in the water. So this is a size 2/0. It's perfect for the size of the lure that I'm gonna use right now. The lure that I'm gonna use right now is gonna be a Kitech, and it's a 4-inch easy shiner. This little guy right here. First, let's put the hook on the line. What I like to do is I like to take this, the piece that I'm gonna slip through the little eye of the hook, I like to pinch in between my teeth. Makes it a little pointier, and it makes it a little easier to slip through the eye of the hook. Hopefully if we do catch something, we don't catch something big enough to snap this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this big old pole with 2 hooks on it. Got the high-low rig set up right here. It's called the high-low because you have a hook that's a little higher than the lower one. There's 2 hooks. That way it'll increase your chances of catching a fish, whether they're closer to the surface or closer to the bottom. Hopefully one of the hooks catches their attention. It's freezing. Alright, so I'm just gonna put some bait on both of the hooks. One hook is gonna have a frozen anchovy on it, and the other hook is gonna have a cured ghost shrimp on it. Oh my gosh, this ghost shrimp's falling apart. What the heck? I went ahead and hooked on a frozen anchovy and 1 cured ghost shrimp. Right now the seagulls are swarming me. I'm trying to get my bait. It's too cold, man. I'm just gonna cast it out, and then I'm gonna sit behind some rocks away from the wind. I put a 3-ounce sinker on that, so hopefully the water doesn't move it too much. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it for about 20 minutes. I think the birds were pecking at my bait, so I'm gonna have to retie on some new bait. Okay, take 2. Alright, so I recasted it again, and we're gonna wait another 10 minutes to see whether or not we get a bite. Looks like there's a seagull stuck to my hook, so I'm gonna try to reel it in and maybe release it. I guess the seagull wasn't stuck, he was just pecking at my bait. I'll come back some other day, hopefully with better weather conditions. But yeah, it was very cold, very windy, and it's still sprinkling a little bit here and there. I think I'm gonna call it a day, man. I'm cold, I'm tired.